Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. I don't want to sound like a hypocrite here, and I easily could. And if you call me a hypocrite, I can't deny it. Because I am one of 5, 10 people, maybe less than that, whose YouTube channel, even with all the changes that YouTube's made, and all the cutbacks and revenue decreases and everything else, my channel still makes enough revenue to buy the whale offers, at least for the moment, in 2023. Now, that doesn't mean that it makes enough money in 1 month to buy all the whale offers. I could make $800 in a month, and I could spend $1,400 worth of purchases for whale offers for July 4th week. But then the next month I might make another $700, and suddenly I spent $1,400 in the July 4th week whale offers, and my channel, probably minus taxes, made about $1,500. That's just the reality of having still a moderately successful YouTube channel in 2023. That is not the case for 99.9% of the people watching, and so when you spend $500, even $100, but $500 especially, $800, $1,000, Lord knows $1,500. Plus, so many people watching this don't live in the United States. You live in countries where even across the pond, in places like, say, Great Britain, your currency is still worth a little bit more, not what it used to be, sadly, but a little bit more value than the dollar, and yet oftentimes it's still priced 1-to-1, which, believe it or not, means you are getting screwed over. But the real culprits are places like India and Canada and Australia, places that it's like $160 for an Odin. And so when you talk about $1,400 in U.S. charges, that's like $2,500 in your currency, which is beyond breaking my brain. And look, I'm so used to talking about spending money in this game that it almost feels like it's normalized. But when you go outside this community and you tell somebody you spent even $50 on a mobile game, they'll look at you like you're the dumbest person ever. And then when you talk about thousands, or in some cases hundreds of thousands, there's rumors of the top accounts being over 9 figures, over $1 million. Then it just gets unbelievable. But then again, if some of those millionaires are millionaires in real life, then I guess it's all relative. But I know people who spent money they didn't have just to not feel like they were so far behind that they couldn't recover. There were literally people who told me, if I don't buy these offers, I'm going to quit. Because I don't believe, particularly because these are people that really believe that their rosters can compete and their skills can compete in an Alliance War, in the best tiers of Alliance Quest, and yes, of course, Battlegrounds. That if they didn't buy July 4th offers, they would quit the game. So either you have the people who maxed out that credit card and might have, unfortunately, in the Marvel Casino of Champions, used money that probably should have gone to things like car payments or rent or food or utilities or all the above, and they're now trying to figure out in August how they're going to survive. But then you have people who knew that they couldn't do that, who knew they couldn't afford that. Maybe they're free-to-play players, maybe they're low spenders, and they just feel like the game literally left them behind. And so they have told me, and some of them have already walked away, like, I'm done. But July 4th rewards were so good, especially for Paragon players. Literally taking my rank 5 6 stars from 3 to now currently, was that 16? 6, 12? Yeah, I've got 16. But 85-90% of those were during July 4th week. If you feel like you've got a competitive roster that's got 2 or 3, maybe even 1 rank 5 6 star, but then the top has like 3, but now suddenly you've still got that 1 rank 5 6 star, and after July 4th week somebody's got double digits, you're just waving the white flag, even if you played the game for 7 or 8 years. So that's the first reason why July 4th week sales really did ruin this year, because the jump was so big that unless you had like thousands of units that you had hoarded to where you could at least get some of those offers, you were just left in the dust. But then on top of that, it makes what would normally be an amazing side quest, which I've been pretty happy with the Rifts. It's been the happiest I've been with Rifts. I got really lucky once and got the ultra rare 6-star generic awakening gym path, to where at the time of recording this, I went from going into this month with 2 to now having 5. But generic awakening gyms have also been devalued so much for Paragon players that now you can get 2 for $40 along with 60 generic 6-star 6 stones, which is a phenomenal price, though the demand has never been lower because the supply has never been higher for free gyms. But I say this to say that the side quest rewards and the event quest rewards, which are complete trash, and even the buff, which is helpful to things like Battlegrounds trophy tokens and the Glory Store, aren't enough to overcome the gap, the people who spent and the people who didn't. But it's not just that. Those people that wailed out during July 4th week who started an account, you could have a level 5 account, that if you bought all the offers, suddenly that account was better at level 5 than you had people who've been playing the game for 5 years and are now uncollected. That's how much that changed. Not to mention, let's say you're Paragon. You bought all the July 4th offers, and then you're just like, you know what, I'm burnt out. I am not going to play the game again until Cyber Weekend. And maybe, just maybe, there'll be another progression level coming up. It feels like Kabam sort of hinted at that during Friday's broadcast. But regardless, let's say you don't log into the game from July 4th to November 28th, but you plan on buying all of the offers for Cyber Weekend, which we know Kabam's not going to pull back the money. That's the new bar. The new bar is buy all the offers on both the website, potentially, and the in-game store, and then you can get the Thronebreaker offers unlocked, and if you like those, you can buy those too. Something can spend $3,000 or more on offers. And if you just do that versus somebody who plays the game every day but doesn't spend that $3,000, you're still going to be with your roster ahead of where you'd be if you were logging in. Now, you may not have the 7-star Morbius that you get from the Double Track event. You may not have the exclusive 7-star that's going to come with the special multi-month Alliance event. But you're not going to really care because you'll still get opening tons of other 7-stars, maybe even Titan Crystals during Cyber Weekend. Kabam used to have a goal to have a good July 4th. This was even before spring cleaning, which hasn't been around that many years. July 4th was going to be good, but it wasn't going to be so good that like you were going to be left in the dust. It was more important to them to have people engaged after July 4th until you got to Cyber Weekend, and then, of course, gifting. Now it feels like so much pressure was put on July 4th that there's this lull where the game's not as fun to play right now because it's like going from opening up sports cars to maybe getting a couple of expired Hot Wheels cars. Literally, that's the difference. I'm just hearing from people who are burnt out, who are bored, who feel like it's stale, and who feel like these new rewards, even though the side quest rewards are quite good compared to where they were a year ago, but they're nothing compared to July 4th. And so, yeah, I'm a hypocrite because I was able to buy all the Paragon rewards and help my roster, but I don't feel good about that. I feel burnt out, if anything. I feel thankful that my promotion is kicking in and I'm going to take a bit of a backseat from making so much content and even doing as many broadcasts, because it's almost like wealth guilt. And I grew up extremely poor, so I was the opposite of wealthy. But again, this channel allows me to make purchases that I never would be able to justify outside of my YouTube channel, and so many people can't do that. And this game, it used to not be a pay-to-win game. It just used to be fun. And I get Kabam is a for-profit company, and they have probably a way bigger staff than they used to, and they need to continue to grow their profit margin. Any mobile game has that goal, so this is not a Kabam-specific thing. It just is a really sad, unique culture of burnout combined with irritation and maybe even anger toward what the economy of the game did during July 4th week. And I can't blame anyone who feels that way. And I'm not going to pretend that I can't be a target, because I took advantage of that with the revenue that's generated from all the hard work I put in this channel. And I'm really looking forward to talking to KT1 about this with our interview series, because I resurrected it for the first time this year, because I think there's just a lot of important topics regarding burnout and where we go from here. So I don't want this video to be 10 minutes, and it's very close to that, so let's end here before we get quadruple ads or whatever Kabam or YouTube puts in front of this now. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.